Okay, Haproversion. We just lost Marco because he wanted to actually play or something. So we're left with Baxter. This is the Sultans of Swing, and we're going to do the intro, and I sent this to you and marked off all the measures 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that when I reference a measure, you know how it's presented here, what they're showing you in the tab. And I also sent you a some alternate kind of the way I play this, and I'll give you them both. And we're going to take a deep dive, as I said, a deeper dive, and discuss what's actually happening musically and what chords these are mimicking, and which is very important. The chords that are being played, that he's playing these licks over, and also the pentatonic scales that are associated with each thing that he's doing. So let's go. So it starts off with a D minor, just like that, and on a D minor. And against that, in this intro, he's playing, starting at measure 3. He picks strings 3 and 4, as you see, and he's holding down the index finger at strings 3 and 4 at fret 5, as it's shown. It's all shown here, but here's how it would sound very slowly. So he's starting off with this 5-5 right here, strings 3 and 4, and then he plays string 4, fret 7, and then follows up with this 5. They're 8 notes. If you don't know what those are, I'm trying not to reference those, but it goes. And then after that, he goes, and he slides down 5-5 to 7-7 down here. And what this is all, you want to visualize this chord, this D minor chord right here. As he's playing that, these are all parts of that D minor, what would be the D minor major, D minor pentatonic right here, and these are all notes of that pentatonic, They're all parts of that D minor pentatonic, that shape. You want to take a look at the shape. I forgot to say at the beginning of this, the last recording that I just threw out because Marco I did, but you want to use these as a reference. Grab these throughout the entire lesson. It won't be a real long lesson. I'm breaking it up into 3, as I said. But use the minor pentatonic shape so that you can consult those throughout. And that minor pentatonic shape is what's looked at as a C chord or a D minor chord right here. And that's the shape that you want to be visualizing as you're playing these notes. So right from those notes on that on the minor pentatonic shape, it's, and then he slides down to, and that's frets 3 and strings 3 and 4 at fret 7. And if you make this D minor, you'll see that they're both used in this. All those combinations, those 2-note combinations that are just called intervals, all appear and go very well with this D minor chord. So he's going, and then you have to be aware of fingering all the time. In the next measure that he's doing something is measure 5, and he starts off index finger, and the finger is important here. Index finger on string 4, fret 5, and he slides that down, and then bends over the string, the next string below, which is string 3 at fret 7, and hits that note, which happens to be a D note, and then comes back up to string 4 at fret 7, and let's see. I will not strike that. I'm gonna get, but he doesn't come back up on this lick. This lick just goes. So it starts off with this lick. So that's your first. That's the beginning. That's 3 measures. 3, 4, 5 are. Measures 3, 4, and 5. I just played, and you know the fingering. It's right in front of you. And then the next measure, on measure 6, he starts off at string 4, fret 7, and then with his pinky reaches down here 3 frets below to measure. I've got string starting off. I've got the A note at string 4, fret 7. And then I grab this F note down here at string 3, fret 10, just as it's written here, and then go back up and catch this D note at string 3, fret 7. So far we played this. All played against. So at that point, I'm going to do it again for where we are. Comes down and puts index finger, and the finger is important, index finger on string 1, fret 5, middle finger on string 2, fret 6, and ring finger at string 3, fret 7, and you'll see that right on your sheet. It'll say 7, 6, 5, just like I have, but you want to rake that, it's called, just, and that means I'm just going down with my thumb. I'll show you with fingers as well, but my thumb, and I just rake so that I get this sound, and that's 5, 8, 5, as you'll see on the tab. And then it comes up at measure 8 to this string 2, fret 6 note. So starting at fret 7, it goes, and I'm on the very first thing that shows on measure 8. And then he goes from fret 6 he hits this 6 again, as it shows, and then fret 5, you put your index finger right up on string 2, fret 5, and hammer on, and I pull it off. He doesn't show that as a pull. And if you want to play it the way it's shown there, it would be where I'm actually hitting that second 5, 5, 6, and then hit fret 5 at string 2, and finish off on the D, which should not be surprising since we're all in D. So slowly that would be. Oh, well, the way he played, I'm hitting that hammer and then hit the note at string 2, fret 5, which is an E note, and then finish on the D note at string 3, fret 7. So that starts off against, all played against, starts off against that with Now, this part right here, this final E minor shape that you're playing here, see how this all looks like there's the D minor chord, and I'm just using the first 3 notes of that D minor chord right here. And you also note if you're going to rake, string 4 open is a D, so you can actually, if you make a mistake and hit that string 4 as you rake over these, it's not going to sound bad because it's a D, and it's a very heavy D minor sound, this entire beginning, so it won't sound bad. So now the way I would play this is you can rake down with just your thumb, just rake down over that, and then play the whole thing with your thumb. Or you can put your index or your middle finger on string 1, your index finger on string 2, and your thumb on string 3, and just roll your fingers, which means thumb, index, and middle, and you get this sound. But speed it up is. Now that'll take some practice if you want to learn it that way. You don't have to, you can do it with your thumb, but as a stretch exercise as you go along, you might want to try to be able to just do a roll. And that is thumb, index, middle, and almost like, not simultaneously, which I'm plucking those all together, but in this I'm going. And so why is the fingering important? Because you're just going to reach out on this part to get that note down here at fret 8, and then it just comes right back up. And just practice that sound. Or and then at that point you shift up your index finger to string 2, fret 5, and get that sound. And vibrato. So all told in that, it comes at the way it's fingered here, the way it's drawn, it came in the sheet that you sent, is now the way I played that, and neither one's right or wrong. The way I played it, I sent to you marked intro, and in my intro, I just go. Not that I don't hear this interval, and I don't hear it down here. I just hear it as a single note, and I hammer on that final from 5 to 7. It is all on string 3, fret 5, and I'm hitting that. What's important in a lot of this is it's just a real staccato. It's not. I don't let those notes ring out. I make it very staccato until I get down to that final note, which I then vibrato, and it just makes it more dramatic. And then I slide down. Same thing that he does, but I'm sliding down, putting my ring finger at string 4, fret 5, and then I slide that down to 4, fret 7, and I roll it over so that it is now covering string 4 and string 3, both at fret 7. And then I straighten this up, and I hit string 4, fret 7, and then with my middle finger come down to string 2, fret 6, and then finish it up on string 3, fret 7. And now my fingers are playing it this way. My fingers are right in position to go to this little formation that I just spoke about in the other song. We're at the same spot, and then it's the same. You can play it either way. That's mixed way. I played it with my thumb, the second part, and with a roll with my finger. You can just practice it both ways. But that comes out, it's the same notes, except for the very beginning. I go. So that is the intro. Real fun thing. Just put on a loop or record. Just play a D minor chord, and against that, just play what you just played. Just play that right against it. You have a lot of fun, and you'll be doing Mark Knopfler proud. So let's get to the little licks, the fills that he has. We'll do that in the next video.